In 1970, I had never been on an airplane. And probably I will never ever in my life come in Tokyo again. It's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and that never is good. Management by walking around. Be human, be approachable. It's like playing chess. You think 3 steps ahead, but your DNA is Okura.
皆さん、はじめまして、エニーです。今日はこのチャンネルの記念すべき第1回目のインタビュー動画をお届けします。で、その前に、そもそもエニーって何者って気になりますよね。そして、どうしてこのチャンネルを始めたのか、そのあたりの話をちょっと簡単にさせてください。私は中国東北にある瀋陽市の出身で、大学卒業後に来日しました。2年間の留学生活を経て、まず日本航空に就職し、でその後ご縁がありまして、JAL ホテルズやホテルオークラで仕事をしてきました。気がつけばホテル業界に10年以上関わっていて、昨年の夏に会社員を卒業しまして、今はフリーランスで活動しています。基本的にインタビューというコンテンツを考えているんですけれども、そういったコンテンツを通してホテル業界で働く皆さんに少しでもヒントや気づき、そして元気をお届けできたら嬉しいです。言うまでもないんですけれども、最近は本当に AI の話題を聞かない日はないぐらいどんどん進化してて、もう世の中が本当に大きく変わってきてますよね。このような時代だからこそ、人にしかできない心のこもった温かいおもてなしが、これからますます大事になってくるんじゃないかなって思ってます。このチャンネルではホテル業界の人にフォーカスしていきます。私は前々からずっと、第1回目はこの方しかないと思っていた方なんです。やっと夢が叶いました。私自身8年ほどマルセルさんの下で働かせていただいて、本当に大きな学びと財産になりました。マルセルさんは実績が素晴らしいのはもちろんなんですが、それ以上に人間的な魅力にあふれていて、この方ならついていきたいと思わせてくれるようなリーダーなんですね。それでは大変お待たせしました。インタビュー本編をどうぞご覧ください。
First of all, could you tell us how you first got into the hospitality industry? I heard there's an interesting story behind it.
When I turned 16, I was allowed to drive a moped. But my parents didn't want to give me a moped. I had to do something in order to earn some money. My parents went out for dinner. Most of the Fridays and Saturday was us children. So it was easy for me to go to those restaurants and say, can I do some dishwashing? So this is how I got into it. And then, of course, I was at high school. Actually I was not planning to be in the hotel industry. But in the end, I thought, it's interesting. Shall I study economics like my father has done? Or shall I start in the hotel industry? So I went to the hotel school and I completed my study there. Actually, I met my wife there. We were friends from almost the first day, and we were married, I think, 53 years.
After graduating from Hotel School The Hague, you received several job offers. So what made you choose Okra over the others?
We got the offers because I was the group leader of 12 students who did a study on hotel development in Amsterdam. So we spoke with KLM, the National Bureau of Tourism. We spoke with Hilton. And we also spoke with Okura, Mr. Murakawa, who was at that time the managing director, opening the hotel. It was not open yet, it was under construction.
Okay, pre-opening.
Pre-opening.
Okay.
So we spoke with banks and we did a whole report. And after the presentation, both Vice President Hilton came to me and said, do you want to go to the Queen Elizabeth in Montreal? Because it's our kind of training center. And then Mr. Murakawa came to me and said, do you want to go to Japan? And then be 1 year in Japan, and then come back to Amsterdam and help open Okura Amsterdam, of course in a very junior position. But in 1970, I had never been on an airplane. So I decided, okay, Montreal is very far, but Tokyo is much further, and probably I will never ever in my life come in Tokyo again. So I decided to go to Tokyo. That's the only reason.
I thought you were interested in Japanese culture or
No,
something
at
like
that time, no, not at all. I mean, it was just, I wanted to be on that plane, which was actually the longest flight. We took 23 hours because on purpose, we went from Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Cairo. I thought the long route.
As you just explained, you have worked as a general manager in many hotels, and both in Europe and the US, and then led a company in Japan as president for over 10 years. So from your experience, what would you say are the key skills and qualities that a great leader should have?
First of all, respect for your employees and give them the trust, and management is getting things done through others.
Yes.
Don't try to do everything yourself. Allow them to make a mistake. If they make a mistake, they shouldn't be blamed. I mean, we try, of course, not to make mistakes, but sometimes you can learn from mistakes.
Exactly.
And mistakes happen. Don't blame them, because if they make a mistake, it's probably because we didn't train them well enough. I think the other thing is important is listen to what people say, not only your guests, but also accountability. You know, can they count on you? Are you reliable as a partner? If they say, if they feel exactly, yeah. And then the other, I think, more important thing is to develop others, because you can only be successful yourself if you manage to get somebody who is good enough to take your position. Never be afraid. If you have the intelligence and the mentality and think I can make a next step, then the most important thing is to make sure you have somebody who can take your position, because your boss will never put you into a higher position if there is nobody that can take your position. So that is very important. My father always told me, if you want to make career quick, make sure you got a very good assistant. It makes your life easier, and secondly, you have the opportunity to move on. If you're good and you want to move on and you have a good assistant, I think that's important.
It feels like the general manager is like a conductor of an orchestra.
Oh yeah, I've said it before. I'm not good at playing a violin or a piano, but I know exactly when the piano has to start or when this. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've always said I'm more a conductor, but I know exactly when we have a problem. Okay, I need to have this guy, and this is the problem. How are we going to solve this? And to ask the right questions. That's important.
I feel that having a good memory and a genuine interest in people is also very important as a general manager.
Yes.
So I want to share a little story.
Okay.
So I still remember this so clearly. It was in 2012. It's at the 50th anniversary party of Okura Tokyo.
Yeah.
So I attended with my husband and introduced him to you. So later, just before we left, we came over to say goodbye to you. You still remember his name. That left a strong impression on me.
I try.
So you try to remember people's names.
Yes, I think it's very important, because when you have a good employee and it comes with the partner, try to remember that partner's name, because that makes an impression on that.
Yes, exactly.
As you say, yeah.
So in Japan, it's quite common for someone who performs well in their current role and then to be promoted to a management position, but often without sufficient training or natural leadership qualities. I feel this is a significant issue, as it can lead to problems for both the team and the organizations. So my question is, does this kind of situation happen in other countries as well? And what are your thoughts on this kind of promotion practice?
United States or also in Europe, we don't look at how long or how old you are or what color or male or female. We look for the best person to do the job. And I think that's important. Of course, somebody has seniority and is able to do the job. We may say, okay, we'll put him in there rather than somebody who's just started with a company for a year in order to have also, the feeling that people say, well, the company is looking after me. But if clearly, if you only promote because somebody has been 10 years in a job and maybe they did a good job, but then I don't know if you're familiar with the Peter principle, but they promote somebody who is a very good salesman to a sales manager and they cannot manage. That is a problem. I see that, and honestly speaking, one of my challenges is to get somebody from outside. We are not easy to bring outsiders into the company because they miss the DNA, and I think to an extent is important. On the other hand, you can also learn, and I think somebody from outside can bring new ideas. Nothing wrong bringing in people with talents that we do not have within the group, and otherwise you don't renew. It's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and that never is good. You need to bring in new blood, and I think one of the reasons why I have been successful also in Okura. I have Okura DNA from the beginning, and Mr. Noda, who was the chairman,
the first president
of Hotel Okura Tokyo, and even when I got appointed as general manager, the Mark Hoppus Intercontinental, he said, "But your DNA is Okura."
And to elevate the team's performance, leaders need to ensure their people are truly motivated. It reminds me of the story of the three bricklayers. So people with a clear vision tend to be more motivated and persistent. So as a leader, did you have any effective ways to consistently inspire your team to do their best or deliver excellent service?
You're one of my employees. So did I inspire you or not? And so that's the answer. I mean, I am approachable. I think that is one of my biggest strengths. I talk to everybody, whatever level they are in the organization, which is very important because then people on different levels in the organization are not afraid to talk to me because I'm talking to them as well. I'm not just walking around and only greet the managers. So it's very important to be approachable.
Yeah, I remember you're not only sitting in your room, you always come to the big office and to greet
management by walking around. And that is not only in the hotel, which is very important to see your guests and your employees, but that's also in the executive office. Because then you hear what's going on. Maybe you realize how this person has a problem, either financially or with the family or sickness or whatever. Just, be human, be approachable.
I don't know if you have heard of Simon Sinek.
Yeah, of course. Yes, management. Yes,
I watched a lot of videos of his.
Yeah.
He always says start with why. That's the key message. So finding your why I think is very important.
Yes. In the hotel industry, of course, we have a lot of people that do not have an official education in the hotel industry in management, but they grow in the organization. They learn on the job, and many move because salaries in the industry is not as high as maybe with the banks or with other industry, IT industries. I love this job, and I'm now 77. I still love every day I do, and I don't have to work anymore. I mean, financially is no reason for me, but I appreciate the fact I know I can contribute. If I have the feeling that I cannot contribute to the organization and I'm more like, oh, here he is again, the old man, etc., then I'm gone. I absolutely love this job.
So when you first arrived at John Hotels back in 2010, right, as a president, what were the main challenges you faced in leading a team in a country with different language and ways of thinking? And how did you overcome those challenges and gain the trust of Japanese staff?
In Japanese, you're not always as straightforward. So it's very difficult anyhow for us if I would even speak Japanese, whether or not I would understand. So
the way of thinking are different.
Is different. And that's why I've learned to ask questions sometimes 3 times, the same question, but pose the question in a different way. Then I find out whether or not they agree or disagree or whatever. I'm repeating the question a different time, so I know not that they say hi. Yes, yes means I have understood what you say, but I don't agree, or I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm scared to say no. You know, all these type of things. I'm trying to find out whether they really understood what I said and what I meant with it.
Yes.
You know, in Europe or the United States, I had graduates from hotel schools. You don't have that in this country, which is surprising.
Yes.
I think it is necessary to have a really hospitality education, a 4-year university degree, like a Cornell, like a Lausanne, like a The Hague. Those are the real, you know, important schools. And there are tourism schools. But they're not really here in this country. They're not schools for
For the management level.
Exactly. I think involve yourself in the Japanese community. I'm not trying to find Dutch people. I'm trying to find Japanese people that I'm friends with.
I totally agree.
I want to learn their culture, your thinking process. I want to come back enriched from this country. The good things I try to implement in another country that I come. I have once said, if we were rich enough as a company, I would bring all 325 employees of Hotel Accor Amsterdam for a month in Tokyo. Go to the station, see how people line up, see the hotels and everything. Because I know our employee of the year comes here for 2 weeks. They come back and they say, wow, I thought I worked for a Japanese company. Now I really know what it is. It's so special here. So special. It's like playing chess. You think 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.